Hey everybody, this week's episode is brought to you by Deep Creek Glassworks. Ornaments, pendants, straws, marbles, wine glasses, and functional glass, all unique, durable, and handcrafted. Support a local artist and visit Tanner at Deep Creek Glassworks. That's www.etsy.com/shop/Deep Creek Glassworks. That's WORX. Their creations are stronger glass than what you'll find in stores, so take it from their hands into your home at Deep Creek Glassworks. And just for our listeners, if you enter promo code SUPERFUN, you'll get 10% off of your next order. Once again, that's www.etsy.com/shop/Deep Creek Glassworks.
Welcome to the super fun game review podcast. Go Mega Ultra Between Review Show down.
Welcome to MUBRS. MUBRS. Brought to you by the H&S Express. It's just Harry and I tonight.
Sick.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the good ones, but that's okay.
You know, it's funny. Every time there's a duo set up, that same joke is played.
Really?
Yeah. You know, we're the best ones.
Yeah, of course it is, because that's who we are. Well, we're going to give you our take on Too Many Games.
2019.
2019.
I'm going to see how many times I can do the horn tonight.
Yeah, I know. Do I need to pull up the app? Because that'll get bad. At some point, it's coming out. So yeah, this is our second year as a podcast going to Too Many Games, and it was a really good time. Even though I was only there for one day, I had schedule conflicts, but I was there for 12 hours almost, something like that. So it was very nice. It was pretty cool.
Fair enough. I guess my biggest takeaway, I think we were all at this show, but the Epic Rap Battles show was like an hour and a half long.
They did. They went a lot longer than I expected, because it was only supposed to be an hour, and they just ended up doing more.
Yeah, I think it was like an extra 20 minutes or so tacked on the end. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm glad I came back for it.
Oh yeah, definitely, because you were gone to fill everybody in. Harry had to take a little bit of a hiatus to go to a family function, and then made it back like just in time, like 5 minutes before Epic Rap Battles actually began, like when they took the stage.
Yeah, I mean, originally I wasn't gonna come back, but then somebody said, "Hey, Epic Rap Battles," and I was like, I have to make the drive.
I got to come back.
So I loved it. I got one video. Just I didn't want to stand there filming the whole thing, but like,
thank you as a person standing directly behind you. But I mean, from everything sounded great, but what I saw for the 2.5 minutes through your phone was absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah, breathtaking.
But no, it was pretty cool. They did. I guess you don't want to call anything like the hits, but I don't know how many, like just 10, 12.
I mean, they were just blowing through them because like a lot of times, as soon as one would end, next one was already fired up.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane.
It was one after another. It almost felt like a little bit of a medley, but they did the entire songs in between.
Yeah, no, definitely. I even like how they were in not full costume, but like partial costume.
Yeah, they had some stuff.
They're
to
changing around wigs, maybe throwing a vest and like shit like that, like a little prop to kind of, hey, this is the character I'm doing.
Yeah, and then even the part where they came in, and because the room was pretty packed for what it was. Because I mean, a convention center, it's not like the biggest type of center, but for the capacity for that room, it was stuffed. And then they went in the direct middle, because it was, the two main guys, split them half and half, and started having almost like freestyle battles, which that was a different take. It
was okay.
Yeah,
I don't think that was their strongest point.
No, probably not. But still, that was a neat little aspect that they put in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, even pulling up the two guys on stage, the one was for Hawking versus Einstein, and they needed someone to be Einstein, and dude nailed it. And the other was Shakespeare, and I forget who did Shakespeare battle.
Fuck. Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss versus Shakespeare, which if you follow or watch really any of them and caught this one, Shakespeare had probably one of the the hardest like verses and such to do, and dude pretty much nailed it.
Yeah.
He even got ahead of himself a little bit, which is impressive in that, but that might just be stage nerves and whatever.
I thought it was going to be a complete disaster.
Yeah?
I thought those two guys were going to get on stage and like fuck it up to the point where people were like booing them off the stage.
Well, you get into those things where the artist brings people up on stage like, do you know it? Yeah. Do you really know it? Yeah, sure. And it's like, I almost know enough to get by, and then they just completely drop the ball. But these guys were on point.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that I take away from that I actually really like was MC Chris.
Yeah, I missed that one.
I'm sad you did, because I didn't expect him to look like that. Like, I was just thinking, well, I didn't think he was so round. Sorry, Chris.
Oh, is he a big dude?
A little bit. He's not like big, but he's like a short, stocky guy but when you think of that high-pitched voice that he does, not the image that you would think would be there, but the whole thing nailed it. Did a bunch of the hits, and, well, for hits for MC Chris, of course, he ended with Fet's Vet, which is, it has to be.
I don't know all his songs. I just know I know like a lot of the ones from Aqua Teen.
Yeah, I know. But when even when he came out, he was like, y'all may know, I did this little thing from a show on Adult Swim, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and it just like at least half of the room went nuts just knowing what he did. And of course he did I Love Candy.
I love that song
and
too.
Then even at the end, he was so surprised when it came up where the 612 North Avenue right next to, and then pointed out Gentlemen's Club. He's like, I'm surprised y'all know that shit. That takes me back. But I mean, come on. It's like, who doesn't? Hesh wants sex. Which those were some of the T-shirts he was selling at the end of the night.
What, Hesh wants sex?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
That's right. He played Hesh, didn't he?
He did.
I totally forgot about that.
I know. And then he was MC P Pants and Sirloin from Aqua Teen, and there was one more. I forget the last one. But that was really cool. I enjoyed it, and he actually managed the crowd very well. It was really neat. Like, he controlled the audience, and even had everybody who was sitting in front of the stage yelling back, because the way this was set up, where they had the concert stage, and in the open hall right behind it was kind of like an arcade. So he had everybody at the concert stage yelling at people back in the arcade, and you could see people's heads popping up, and it's like, hey, look, there's a guy. We're cutting his head off. Look here. What if someone was actually doing this? It was really cool. I don't know. I like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it was much bigger than last year. Just the convention itself, which was
cool.
I
would say that.
I would say
there was quite decent sized crowds at the shows that I went to.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised. I thought it would just be like a couple people wandering in and out kind of thing, but I mean that was like it's pretty close to like a full-fledged well, not like a
it's not like a Comic-Con type thing.
No. I meant like concert size wise. It's not like a full-fledged Tweeter Center or whatnot.
No.
But it's like a local show kind of thing. Full crowd.
Crowd.
Yeah.
No, which was really cool to see the participation. There were some really good artists there this year doing some of the, like their fan work that they were selling. I know there was a return who did the shadow boxes, which you picked up.
Yeah,
a few of those.
So that was my mistake last year. I really wanted the Earthbound one last year, and I kept looking at it, and then boom, it was gone.
Yep.
The option off the table. So when I got there this year, it was like the first 10 minutes I got there, I bought 3 of them.
Yeah, because I showed up about 45 minutes or so after it actually opened, and when I met the other guys outside, Harry was like, you want to see what I got? I'm like, you've been here for like not that long, and just pulled out 3 full frames of these shadow boxes. They looked awesome, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 3 games that I absolutely love. I mean, Earthbound, second episode from the podcast.
Yep.
Absolutely. That was like the first game I fell in love with while doing the show.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Final Fantasy VI, absolute classic. And here's the cool thing about that shadow box, too. The one they had on display last year, I was like, it's okay. It had 4 of the characters. Mm-hmm. And I talked to the guy last year. I was like, this is awesome. Do you ever do anything that has like all the characters from a particular game? And he's like,
oh, yeah.
He's like, I try to stay away from that. I try to take actual frames from the game, and you never really see all the characters on the screen at one time in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But then, boom, I walk up to that table this year. I found the airship that had every single character, including the extra like secret characters from the game, on the airship. And I was like, did I have any kind of influence on that getting done? Like,
Yeah.
so obviously,
You never know.
I picked it up, and then
You had to by that point.
and then the Chrono Trigger as well, with everybody resting around the campfire.
Yeah. And the cool thing about those is where they have like basically like a little lightning
Yeah,
code.
what's that app called? Hold on, sorry, 1 second.
Where's your phone, old man?
Yeah, I just downloaded it last night. When I was setting them up, Clark said he said something to me at the con. I don't remember him or like what he said.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on at the time, so you never know.
But yeah, I pulled out the business card and it said Zappar something, download the app.
Yeah.
And then I saw the little symbol on the picture. So I downloaded the app and then clicked on it. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And it like brings the picture to life kind of thing, which
Yeah.
I thought was really cool.
So think of it like a QR code, but when you have your camera facing the shadow box or the picture itself, it grabs that lightning QR code and basically makes like it's like a short video that goes along. Like the one for Earthbound has he's like walking around and around the town where you first open up. Chrono Trigger, it's everybody just hanging out by the fire, and then Final Fantasy, that's like 2-3 minutes long of just like an entire cutscene basically.
Yeah, that was huge.
So it's pretty neat where it's like interactive art, which I think is kind of a really neat concept.
I guess the last thing I wanted to talk about was the main focus of me wanting to go to this convention, because I loved doing those interviews last year. So I want to get like a fresh batch of interviews this year. And I'll let you talk about yours. I'll talk about mine. I'm not going to touch the other two, except say that like we got Nathan Barnett and
Tommy Dreamer,
which I'm sure Clark is going to want to talk about.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not going to touch on that.
A
But,
little he fanboy. As much as we like busted Ralph last year for meeting the voice of Mario, you could just see it on Clark's face of like just getting to talk to Tommy Dreamer. I mean, even just being there, I'm holding the recorder, watching the levels, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm part of this. It's like, this is it. I watched this guy like growing up, like wrestling for years, and here he is, nicest guy ever. You know, when we went up, and again, I'll let Clark go a little further in, but asked him for, you know, the interview, and he's like, yeah, sure, let's do this, which is just, I don't know, that made the experience better, because you hear about people meeting these people that you've known for a long time, well, at least, you know, you've watched for a long time, getting up to it, and they're like a complete dick. But Tommy Dreamer was great. He was very receptive, and
I listened to that interview too on the way home, and I was like, this is awesome.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool, and I think the people will enjoy it, because he started like cutting a promo, and just sitting there, I just felt like the 10-year-old in me going like, oh, it's happening. So yeah, that was actually probably the last thing I wanted to touch on. Even just meeting Tommy Dreamer, shaking his hand, got an autograph, of course, because if I didn't, I would not forgive myself for it. So just need to find a frame to put that up on and put it away for my my nerd den once I get that room all set up.
Yeah. And what I like, I loved doing my interview, by the way. These are guys I was talking to through email for a while, because I did that solo episode on the Great Gaias.
Yes.
It was kind of cool. Like, I walked up and I was like, hey, I did a review on your game, and they were like, are you guys super fun, kind of thing. I was like, instant validation.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's like, wow, they actually they recognized it, knowing that we did that.
Yeah, and just to sit down and just discuss the game, and like they let me play like a work in progress type demo towards their next game, and I thought that was awesome. Like, how many people have gotten to sit down and touch the work that they've done so far in the next game? I thought that was really cool.
When like leading up to it, it's like, hey, I reviewed it, yeah, and then after it was pretty much the introduction to them asking you, it's like, oh yeah, super fun. Oh, you did the review. Do you want a sneak peek at the next one?
Yeah.
And Harry's like, yes.
Yeah, and I sat down for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, you were there for a bit. We're all just kind of standing around like, how long do we just keep looking at them play, but no one was going to take you away from that.
No,
but
it was cool. It felt like a unique experience just to be in that moment.
yeah, and even just like the changes they're making for the second one, where they're starting to integrate kind of like your karma grade, whether you're good or bad, kind of like
That was cool.
It's really neat, and it's definitely an interview worth checking out and a game worth checking out, even off the 15-minute demo. It's a really good mix between more modern age RPG with like your classic JRPG type fields between the two.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it would be looking forward to Too Many Games 2020.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big year.
Yeah, just a little side note, and I don't think I have anything else about Too Many Games to talk about, but first 10 minutes that I was there on Sunday, I was going around to every bathroom and putting a business card on the top of every single urinal in that building.
New marketing. Hey, do what you got to do to get the word out.
Joe mentioned something on it the night before, and I was like, that's fucking brilliant.
Which they're not wrong. You walk in the bathroom and see a business card on the top. It's like, wonder what that is.
Yeah. What else are you going to look at when you're peeing?
Yeah,
the
exactly.
wall?
Yeah.
The fucking wall?
How many times can you see how many liters per flush does this toilet have? No, it was definitely good. And definitely make sure to check out the next MUBRS when I'm sure Clark and Ralph are going to talk about their experiences so you can kind of get everybody's take on it. But it was, again, for myself, just being like the one-day experience, I'm glad I was there the entire day. It was just nonstop awesome. I had so much fun that day.
Yeah, that day went quick.
It really did.
It really did.
Yeah, and then we all got to sit down and have lunch together, which we don't really we don't do too often, Harry.
No.
Why don't you return my calls?
I just bought you dinner, motherfucker.
You did. He did. All right, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in this week, you guys, and stay tuned because there will be an episode with just Harry and myself reviewing What Remains of Edith Finch. Ooh. Spooky, scary stories. All right, stay tuned. Love you guys.
All right, stay sexy.